You have arrived.
Today we're going into the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum. So come along with us and see what we can see. The day that we visited, admission price was adults $18, seniors 62 and better were 12, college students were 12, of course they did need an ID, kids aged 12 to 17 were $10, and kids 12 and under were free. There is an introductory video that I highly suggest you see before you see the plethora of other exhibits. Oh, and there are plenty of handicapped accessible bathrooms all throughout the library and museum, just in case you have a need. This is yet another great place to visit. But I'm going to let my buddy Davis tell you a little more about it.
Thank you. As you probably already saw, parking is free. The exhibits are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., but we stop admitting people at 3:30 p.m. so we can give you plenty of time to finish by 5. There are some days where times are slightly changed due to a special event. We are also closed on a few holidays, so check the website before you go. To make your experience safe and enjoyable, the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum takes the safety and security of all guests, staff, and visitors seriously. Upon entry, all visitors must pass through a security check with a metal detector. The John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum is an iconic attraction in Boston, guaranteed to be a highlight of your trip. Visitors from across the globe have praised the museum for its representation of JFK's remarkable life and presidency. We are dedicated to the memory of our nation's 35th president and to all those who, through the art of politics, seek a new and better world. The museum portrays the life, leadership, and legacy of President Kennedy, conveys his enthusiasm for politics and public service, and illustrates the nature of the office of the president. A month before his death, President Kennedy visited Cambridge, Massachusetts, and chose a site next to Harvard University for the library. It was to be the place where the records of his presidency could be kept and where he would have his office when he retired from public life. Plans for the Kennedy Library began to take shape in December 1963, when members of President Kennedy's family met with several of his closest associates to discuss a suitable memorial. While many suggestions were offered by people in all parts of the country, Mrs. Kennedy and the other members of President Kennedy's family decided that the John Fitzgerald Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum should be the only official national memorial to the president. They also agreed that the project should have 3 parts: a museum, an archive, and an educational institute that would carry forward President Kennedy's interest in bridging the gap between the academic world and the world of public affairs. In 1975, the Kennedy Library Corporation abandoned plans to build the library on the site at Harvard University originally selected by President Kennedy due to prolonged delays in freeing the site for construction, and opposition by some Cambridge residents who feared urban congestion caused by visitors and tourists. The Library Corporation selected a new site for the library adjacent to the Harbor campus of the University of Massachusetts Boston at Columbia Point in Dorchester. Groundbreaking for the dramatic Kennedy Library building took place on June 12, 1977. The building was completed and dedicated in October 1979. The strong financial support and creative resources provided by the Kennedy Library Foundation enabled the Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum to further advance the study and understanding of President Kennedy's life and career and the times in which he lived, and to promote a greater appreciation of America's political and cultural heritage, the process of governing, and the importance of public service.
Well, thank you, Davis, for all that great information.
You are very welcome.
So what did the family and I think of it? We thought it was fantastic. There was a lot to learn, a lot of placards to read, a lot of exhibits to look at. It really gave a very good in-depth history and feeling of what the life of JFK was like. And don't forget to go in and take a look at the flag hanging in the pavilion. The pavilion itself is incredible. And having that American flag hanging there puts chills up your spine. This is incredible. If you're ever in this area, You got to take a look at this. This place was awesome. Oh, and don't forget to check the things outside, because there's a few interesting things to see out there as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed our visit to the JFK Library. And as always, have a great day.